We'll start now. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be kicking us off. I want to start off by saying we are all here sitting in our class in this virtual environment as a room full of people sharing the same passion and understanding for the power of XR technology. We have all collectively invested in ourselves and our education for those reasons. We are all part of U of O history, being in the first cohort of the IMC program, and today I'm beyond excited to share with you what our team has spent the last 10 weeks working on for the future of this program. In our agenda today, we will be covering our SMART marketing objective, target audience segments, a competitive analysis and marketing audit, our segment problem statements, the strategies and tactics, KPIs, and marketing strategy. Let's begin. Our SMART marketing objective is to increase brand awareness, engagement, and IMC program applications over 9 months as measured by reach, engagement, and new students. Off to my partner, Alec.
You might be muted, Alec.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Catherine, for transitioning things over. So before we can develop something that aligns with our Smart XR marketing objective, we first need to understand the various stakeholders that are involved that we need to take into consideration, right? So our team went and we looked at we've identified 5 key stakeholders that we want to create this platform or hub for. The first one is prospective students, as well as current students and alumni. You could think of these as the same stakeholder, but at various points in their journey with the IMC program. And we break up prospective students and current students into 2 categories. The first is people who are StratCom focused, and the second category is people who we would say are content creators. And so what we've done is we've identified what the various need states are for these stakeholders at these points in time, right? So if you're a current student, something that is on your mind is you're thinking, I need to build a robust network and get in front of industry decision makers with hiring authority. Additionally, outside of prospective students, current students, and alumni, we also have faculty, which can be thought about in 2 categories: professors of practice and also research faculty, and partners. The first one is an enterprise partner who we would want to strike a collaboration with to develop on top of any proprietary software that they have. And the second is an XR agency, people who work in the industry, who make content, who need young, hungry, innovative talent to join their team in an industry where it's really hard to find people who are skilled at what they do. But of all of these stakeholders, the one that holds the most importance out of all of them are these prospective students, because there is no IMC program unless we can get new students in the door. So Catherine, can you transition to the next slide? So with these prospective students, we've identified 5 competitors that these students are thinking about as they evaluate their higher learning options in the field of extended reality and spatial computing. There are dozens of programs out there, but we think that these 5 paint a good picture of what the overall landscape is like. As you can see in the middle for Drexel University, and at the far right at Northeastern University, they have very highly technical programs where you get your hands dirty with 360 video, principles of design, digital imaging, and they have really robust programs that have been in the industry for 5 years. Just being in the Northeast, these programs have a reputation for being really good at what they do. But the cons are that this is a really expensive path to take, which is not affordable to everybody. And a 2-year commitment, such as Northeastern, might not align with the personal timelines that people want with this industry that's rapidly evolving. On the other end of the spectrum, there are certificate programs like NYU Tandon, which says, hey, we can give you a certificate that kind of leverages and is associated with the really strong NYU brand. It gives you a layer of credibility that you don't have. It has an emphasis on XR development and 3D graphics, but it's very heavily focused in Unity and only Unity, and it doesn't carry the same type of weight that a full-fledged master's program would have. Of these 5, the most direct competitor to the University of Oregon's program is Arizona State, which has 3 different XR-based tracks The first one is in media arts. The second one is in experiential design. And the third one is in futures in design. So it's a customizable program. It's in the same ballpark price range. But what they don't have is they're not explicitly advertising that their program can be done tangentially with while holding down a job or meeting the other obligations that people would have. So, this does a good job of painting what the overall landscape is like. The next slide, we have a social media cross comparison, but for time considerations, we're going to skip that. And if you have any questions, we can talk about that after the presentation. And now I'll transition over to Luke, who's going to talk about the segment problem statements.
Thank you, Alec. Now that we know about segment needs and the competitive landscape, I want to just go over the problem statements that our segments would have to move us forward into our ideations. So overall, I think a summary of the prospective students, there's a lack of practical experience with XR tech in the XR industry. There's difficulty connecting with professionals without some form of networking, and there's difficulty gaining credibility for using for your portfolio, with XR tools without some way of actually getting your hands on them. And a little further in, once you're a current student, you have limited exposure to real world projects. Again, a weak portfolio, and a lack of practical experience with these tools. These are all problems that current students are having, that I feel like some of us have. Then alumni, when we get through the program and let's say we have a few skills, a problem then is, how do I get hired? I have such little experience with these tools. It's all new. How in the Stratcom world am I staying up to date with rapidly advancing XR tech? And how do I get jobs that some the big five are looking? And then for faculty, since this is a great segment, they have difficulties connecting with their students, and current tools like Zoom and Canvas do the job, but they're not that great. It's just going to be some faces on the screen. So there's a problem due to the heavy teaching loads and work-life balance. Staying up to date on XR Tech news is another problem. And then a final problem that between both faculty was, there's limited resources and funding to pursue XR projects and research, and finding ways to solve that. And the final one is the partners. They have challenges identifying talented individuals who possess the ideas and capabilities in the changing XR tech field. They're also looking for new ways to resonate CSR and promote STEM within their business. And then a final problem statement would be, they're trying to build platform loyalty as their ecosystem grows and evolves along with this XR tech. I know all this was supposed to be in I statements, but this was a summary of all of them for time. If you want to go to the next slide. You may see a lot of lines here. What we did is, after going over our problems, we had our ideation solution, a few sessions on that, and we just kind of came up with 5 major goals that interconnect a majority of the segments in ways that were most beneficial and that were realistic within, a tech platform. So the ones we came up with were meet, inform, connect, educate, and jobs. And for meet, which is this, the overall goal with a few of the tactics you may see, was just providing a digital space that faculty and other users can personalize and connect with each other in virtual meetings. So trying to replace that Zoom element. And then inform, we just, we came up with a AI curated community news feed that highlights the latest XR AI com news, research news, and allows community members to post their own news, and then you can interact with this news and talk with other individuals. To connect, we believe the ability to connect through this platform would be essential in creating a virtual phone book or Rolodex where each segment can have their own user profiles would be a great opportunity. These profiles could include favorite XR experiences, favorite tech, upcoming tech, linked to their social media, their own portfolio, and just some tagged interests that is relevant to the segment, appropriate segment. And then Incorporating the ability to educate virtually is another important goal, as this is an immersive program, so we should be using immersive technology. This would be done by creating a resource hub, aggregating educational content, case studies, hands-on tutorials, just exploring other virtual things, just all ensuring we utilize XR tech along the way. And then our last one is jobs, and this is relevant for all, but creating an IMC exclusive project board where students and alumni can search companies and specifically the business partners, seeing if there's any like related research or contract work that they're looking for. And instead of hiring through email or word of mouth, it'd be nice to have like a board to connect to these individuals. And with all these goals in mind, we needed an XR tech that would fulfill these problems and kind of satisfy these goals. And Cal will explain what we found.
So, deep consideration of our IMC stakeholders' needs and size shaped our platform recommendation today. As a conceptual starting place for the University of Oregon's IMC program, Spatial as a virtual platform fulfills every one of our needs. This platform is designed for high-level collaboration, networking, and learning utilizing VR and AR technology across all devices. From desktops to headsets and mobile devices, Spatial is the foundation of bringing our virtual community to life. Spatial's low entry point price tag of $25 a month is going to revolutionize the IMC as a first-of-its-kind graduate program who practices what it teaches. Current students have given the future of this program an economical solution that utilizes students' Oculus headsets, propelling immersive learning and building, and serving as an everlasting community that sets the bar for what all future XR students should expect from a university's master's program. With our success, the adoption of our virtual campus concept in the future could be applied to the entire U of O in scale. Transforming the concept of remote learning universally would require investing in a dual platform approach and a large investment in development. Breakroom is supporting the university-sized virtual events, seminars, and paid ticketed events. The University of Oregon has the ability to revolutionize the current practices of remote learning and host department-sized lectures for students. ScienceSpace is accessible to UO departments, aiding in our sciences, arts, law, and architecture schools to create advanced educational simulations and hands-on learning. Here's a detailed visual chart highlighting the most important features of all three platforms. Now I get to hand it off to Kathleen. Go for it.
Thank you so much, Kat. I'm going to try to turn on my video here and see if you guys can actually see me or if that breaks everything, but hello. So moving on to KPIs, really what we're trying to do here is measure primarily awareness, engagement, and new applications to the IMC program. To measure the success of our platform, these key performance indicators across our 5 personas and 5 platform pillars showcase the ways in which we can continuously measure and improve the platform. We've identified the main KPIs for each of the main different target audiences. For prospective students, we'll be measuring conversion rate, the percentage of targeted prospective students that sign up for virtual events from our advertisements. For current students and faculty, we've identified that connection metrics like the number of connections made through the phone book and the amount of touch points, interactions with students that faculty have with students in the virtual space is among the most important metrics for faculty and current students. For alumni and partners personas, the connection and career-related metrics are the most important. We've identified that alumni's engagement with the job board, click-through rate on the job board, and posting opportunities is really important, as well as for partners, how many jobs that they post themselves and the engagement that their posts generate on the platform. Moving on to content marketing. Thank you, Kat. So for content marketing here, really this is like a high level strategy slide here. This slide shows the marketing funnel strategy focusing on driving prospective students to become aware of the IMC program through marketing, encouraging platform engagement, and ultimately driving conversions through signups to the IMC graduate program.